Here with another video.
Oh,
This time
I'll
was
be
the
jamming
vice president,
backstage.
the vice presidential debate, and this was a fly on the head gate because I don't know if you can't call when Vice President Pence was talking and a fly was on his head.
I
So I
seen
was
that. I said, Lord, they're gonna make some names tonight.
So the fly, because I'm like, is that a microphone thing? I'm like, no, that's a fly. And of course, I took a picture of it and I got to post it on Instagram because I was so into the debate to see the beauty of the debate. But how did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy
Yeah,
the
I
debate?
enjoyed this debate better. Could he? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me, Wiley?
I can hear you.
Okay, I enjoyed the debate. It was more civil. Okay, I enjoyed the debate. It was more civil. They both were civilized and answered, the questions or not answered, and got their points across. And the moderator, she didn't have much control, but she was trying.
Yeah, Susan, that's her name, Susan. She did a terrible job. We need a debate, a moderator that's going to say, "Shut the hell up. Let's get to the." But you enough time. Your time is up. Your time. Cut his mic. Cut his mic. That's what I was expecting to see because she came in there all proper. You can't be elegant or polite when you're having somebody that is disrespectful. You, the moderator, cut the fucking mic off. Cut it off. Hold up. Because it started out, they talked about the coronavirus. We lost over 200,000 deaths. 1 in 5 businesses, this is according to Kamala Harris, 1 in 5 businesses closed. On January the 28th, 2020 is when the president and the vice president knew about the coronavirus. That's a month earlier before he even announced a shutdown. And the beauty of what Kamala Harris was breaking down, she broke down the timeline. And they know in January, if they would have shut everything down on January the 29th, no travel. If you travel, you got to be quarantined for 2 weeks. We will be just opening up now. And we probably would have had a vaccine. We would have been flattening the curve, as they say. So I enjoyed the fact that she gave us a timeline when it's concerning this coronavirus. Because when she told that, I was like, yes, we need the date when it first started. And Vice President Pence, he's on the task force. But to me, he was very calm, but he was allowing his tail off in a very calm, subtle voice. He never raised his voice, but in that low voice, he thought was mine. And he kept saying, we suspended all travel. That's a lie. You still allow American citizens to come to the country and say, well, y'all got to quarantine for 14 days. Y'all, come on, just quarantine. No. If you're suspending travel, they should have had a place to put all the people that travel for all these places. They had to stay there for 14 days, get massive testing, then allow them to go home. But that's what they should have did back in January 28th, back when they first got the information. Because I've heard from people that they got the information back in December. So Kamala Harris said January 28th, but we all know they have gotten the information earlier before the media. So what do you have to say when they first opened up? How do you think Blue Skies, you there?
What
I think
happened?
she
I
put
can't.
her headphones in. Give me a second.
Sorry. I don't know
Okay,
why I
no.
can't hear you.
Oh,
I
what?
can't
Come
hear
back
you.
on. Okay, let me tell her to click back on. Maybe
Let
she
me
got to
leave
click
and
back.
come back in, I guess.
Okay. And I love the fact, and don't get me wrong, when we were looking at this debate, I was taking like my notes. Everybody should know that Vice President Pence is ahead. He is a part of the coronavirus response team. So his job to tell the American people what is about that. When it comes to coronavirus, Trump and Pence, they did a terrible job. They did a piss poor job when it concerning the coronavirus. They did not handle this situation right. So the 80-some people that are watching this, when it comes to coronavirus, to those people that have lost their loved ones due to coronavirus, know that they have done a terrible job. When you have people that are in nursing homes that couldn't see their loved ones right then and there when their loved ones have died and they couldn't allow to come inside those rooms, that's a very, very valid point. I wish that Kamala Harris would have, brought up the nursing home piece, because it's a lot of people that were in nursing homes that die by themselves. A lot of people have died by themselves in hospital rooms. I wish that she would have told the story on that. But her first opening up with that was just very, very awesome. And then, of course, the vice president was saying that in our thoughts and our prayers. But when you are a government worker, not just your prayers, what is your action when it comes towards
About that.
the virus? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, my iPods were messing up.
Okay. So it's about the coronavirus. If Trump and Pence, if they lose, it will be because of the coronavirus. It will be because of their failure and their response of that. If they lose, that will be one of the reasons.
Yeah, I saw statistics like that was one of the top concerns, like 68% concern of Americans for this election is the coronavirus. And I agree with you. Harris gave a good timeline, and Pence being the head of the task force and succumbing to Trump's not believing in science had pretty much messed them up with this coronavirus. Pence should have kept on. He had a good task force. He did start off strong with his task force, but he let Trump get in it and meddle with it, and it went off the rails. He should have kept Dr. Fauci in there. They stopped Dr. Fauci from coming to the White House, and that wasn't good because he is the leading infectious disease scientist in the whole wide world. So, yeah, they messed up there with the coronavirus.
Even when we get to the super spreader, as they say at the Rose Garden, okay?
Right.
And you could just see the redness of Vice President Pence's eyeballs. Did you see the redness? And he looked sickly. He looked like he got the Rona. So I would expect, they had to get plexiglass in debate. And mind you, while I'm watching this debate, you hear somebody sneezing and just coughing, sneezing and coughing, sneezing and coughing. Because I would have never agreed for this debate. They should have did it via Zoom, via StreamYard, via from a remote location. And because Pence were at that Rose Garden. And that was a super spreader. You can't even say allegedly. People are getting the Rona. The press secretary getting it. It was an article that I was reading. Over 30 people in the White House contracted the coronavirus.
And then there's Republicans in the Senate. I forgot the guy's name. He got the coronavirus, and 2 of his staffers got it, but they don't want to do any contact tracing, and they don't want to tell anybody anything about them having it. And that Rose Garden, nobody had on a mask. Pence in the front seat, that was bad for him. I mean, I don't know where their minds are, what they're thinking, but that was really bad. And that was a big super spreader event.
And they didn't even announce how many Secret Service agents probably contracted that. And the point that I would have gotten on, this ain't no time to be nice. I would have said the president, while in the hospital, get in a vehicle, putting the Secret Service agents at risk just to wave this man sick. He got the Rona. Just to put him in the car, just to wave his hand. You're putting those men and women and their families at risk.
You know, Trump looked really insane, smashed up in that car like a hot stuffed pepper, waving at the people down Rockville Pike. That looked crazy. But you know, Pence ain't really answered a question on the Rose Garden.
No,
he didn't really answer. No, he didn't answer the question.
What can he say? He keeps talking about we putting the trust in American people. No, you lied to the American people. You need to respect American people by telling the truth. And I love that response that Kamala Harris responded. Because you got in there, not ran a mask. And the thing about it is the attack ads right themselves. When the last debate, when Trump made fun of Biden with the mask, look, he got all over and say, it's so much they can make an attack ad. They need to have them attack ads running everywhere because it was a super spreader. When he bring up super predators, bring up at the Rose Garden, not only Rose, but that Rona was running rapid in the Rose Garden.
Right. But you know, Kamala Harris, I was surprised. She's very smooth. She kind of reminds you of your auntie, and she would smile when he was saying stuff, and she would just wait. She would jot down her little notes, and he looked ashen and kind of gray, no color to his face or anything. I always look at the person's physical aspect of them too. But we don't know if he had a coronavirus.
We don't know. We know that
his wife came up on the stage after without a mask on.
Without a mask.
And Kamala's husband came with a mask.
With a mask.
They're so disrespectful.
They're very disrespectful. And that you see when it comes to that, and I'm looking at when she brought up her mother. She said, my mother came to the country at 19. Oh, I think she said that. Did she say 25? Oh, no, she was 19.
25.
She's 25 years old. And I love the fact how she bringing up working hard with the first woman DA, and then she was the Attorney General of California. She brought up her resume. And I knew that her as an Attorney General or as a district attorney, her record was going to be brought up. But I love the fact how she handled it. But before we even get to that, they talked about Trump taxes, $750. I thought it was $750 million. But when they said $750, is that's how much he paid in federal tax? That's less than what I paid.
Yeah, $750.
That to me, but again, is Trump the problem or the system? The system is the problem.
Yeah. Well, the system, because they're supposed to be auditing his taxes, and it's taking them so long to audit. If they came to audit our taxes, they'd be at our front door tomorrow.
They'll put a lien out. I owe a little something. They say, oh, we're going to put a lien. You know, we get the liens. But that'll tell you it is different set of rules. Once you are rich, it's different set of loopholes you can get under. And if you lose a lot of money, that's a win-win when it comes to your taxes.
But it's not all rosy.
Yeah,
about the Rose Garden. It's
not
all rosy because it's a lot of people that have gone to jail for white collar crimes.
Absolutely, but of course, but again, if that was MC Hammer, if that was any black or who else went to
what's his name went to jail for
Snipes?
Yeah.
If you are Lauryn Hill, she was about to go down for taxes. Then the label came and rescued her.
Right.
But when it comes to people that are white and as the president, he again, the system, we need, my understanding, we need a fair when it comes to our taxes. It's too complex, and the average person don't have the money to get a tax attorney or hundreds of accountants to tell you about all them loopholes.
Right.
You don't have that. But she did bring that up, and she was saying like $400 million in debt. And she said, and that means you owe somebody money. That's a lot of debt.
I think he owes the Deutsche Bank, if I'm pronouncing it right. I think they loaned him some money. One of the Kennedys worked there. He has since resigned. I don't know for what reason he loaned them that money, but it's a scandal in there somewhere. But I think he owes some of that money to the Deutsche Bank. It's DEUTSCH or something like that.
I know he probably owed Russia allegedly. He probably owes so many people.
Saudi Arabia,
yes.
Russia.
He probably owe Russia. It's a lot of people he probably owe in money, because
Right.
when you borrow money from these other countries that we supposed to be giving policies, or what do we call that when we put something on them where they have to pay money, put
Right.
restrictions on them. That's a problem when you owe them money, and
Right.
that's where we need to get those money. But again, Congress need to make a law, to put a bill out to force every sitting president to release their
Their
taxes.
taxes. They didn't pressure him.
We should know how much debt you are in, your health record as well as your tax record. We should
Right.
know that.
Well,
And
that's where they talked about transparency, and Kamala
Absolutely.
brought up he's not transparent. But when Pence got to the question, he didn't really answer it. He started talking about other things.
Yeah, he would get me with Pence. Every question he would ask, he would go to something else.
Right.
But the moderator have to bring them back and say, "Sir, with all due respect, that's not the question I asked. This is the question." And about the health, both of them, if they win, whether it's Mike Pence, they're both literally one heartbeat away, because they're both senior citizens. Like Trump almost close to 80, and Biden gonna be close to 80 years old too.
Right.
So they're gonna need to answer that question. And this is where I want to look at with Kamala Harris. She showed us that she's ready to be the president.
Yeah,
this was the moment for her. When I watched her, this is the most presidential moment, because she's looking 4 years from now. Even if Biden loses, Kamala Harris is next in line to be probably the first Black woman president, because you saw how she was handling. This was an audition for becoming president. But even though I think they might win, and it would be because of Kamala Harris. She didn't stutter. She is a career politician. She's a prosecutor, so she knew how to clap back at Mike Pence. I'm not finished. Hold on, I'm not finished. I'm not finished. She was letting them know that was that Maxine Waters reclaiming my time. So she let that man know, listen, you ain't this ain't gonna be this. So she let him be know, and she was taking her notes. And she says she's informed, like she's ready to be the president of the United States. And if I didn't make it no better, it looked like she's running to be president and Biden running to be VP.
Right. She's clearer. She's clearer on her message, probably from her experience as a prosecutor. But when she first came on the scene to run for president, I wasn't into it. I know you were so into it, Wiley, just because I was hearing about her record as a prosecutor. But when she explained some of the things that she did back then, I understand a little more. But I still, the product. It depends. I would have to look at the cases,
because a lot of people was judging her on their stance on the criminal justice system today. But you got to go back to the climax, to the spirit, just like the 1994 crime bill. We cannot judge it with a 2020 mindset. You got to have a mindset in the early 90s.
But I'm glad she said that they would release people from jail that have marijuana charges, and they would try to make marijuana legal across the board, because I have a cousin who lobbies on Capitol Hill to get people out of jail that are in jail on marijuana charges. So that is important, because they did give them some stiff penalties. Some people are in there 10, 20 years just on a marijuana charge.
Facts. And then this is what it is if they do legalize marijuana like they did in Illinois, to make sure African Americans get to own dispensaries, so they don't be out here not getting a coup of the money. Because
my cousin owns a dispensary. He has a huge marijuana farm. He brought his brother. He brought my other cousin. They went to Washington. I think they're in Washington State. And they're in Oregon, and they opened up one farm and dispensary. Then his brother and my cousin got their own, and there is a black group that deals with getting minorities into the marijuana business. My cousin is a big leader in that.
Right, because you see what's going on in Illinois. Chicago is
Right.
making massive complaints to Lori Lightfoot saying, hey, y'all need to be better with giving us a share of this billion-dollar industry.
But
But
you need about $100,000 to $200,000. So when my cousin started, he was asking people to come in on the business with him to invest. So you need groups of minorities to come in together and invest so they can set up that business.
absolutely. Now, they talked about the economy, 7.9 unemployment rate. The unemployment rate for African Americans, I think, is what, over 10%?
Right.
The unemployment rate. So when they say about their policy that he's going to pass a bill that is going to tax the rich, in which they should, because of the rich people, if Donald Trump paying $750, if Warren Buffett said it shouldn't be that he paid less taxes than his secretary, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
That is a problem. That's unfair. So
yeah, that's true.
The Bible said who much is given, much is required. So if you're making billions, you can pay 10, 15, 20% more in taxes. And that's not going to stop growth. You still rich. How rich can you, how much billions do you need?
And I like when they say the health and strength of America is on its working class people, and it's true. That's why I try to tell the Black people we had a power, because if we don't spend our money, ain't nothing gonna move around here. So whenever we want to get something done, all we got to do is stop spending our money and come up with an agenda that we want the government to adhere to.
Absolutely. So they were talking about, of course, the Recovery Act, how Biden was a part of that, because that's great that, Trump and Pence was given a great economy after what they built out the auto industry, the automobile industry. And you look at what they've done to the economy, their failure with coronavirus literally destroyed all the work that Biden and Obama put in. It destroyed all of it. Now they
try to claim that they took the economy and it was bad, and we were in a recession, and they got it. How do people just blatantly just lie?
You just blatantly lie. You was giving.
That's you need somebody to knock you upside your head for lying like that.
Because that fly, now they said the chat, Fly 2020 is trending on Twitter. Like, I saw the fly. Because when you up there spewing out shit, flies will come on your head. He was spewing out a bunch of shit, and that's what that fly said. I feel comfortable. This ain't nothing but a big pile of shit. But when I look at this, and when she said this about healthcare, she said pre-existing conditions, they are coming for you. If you're 26 and younger, they are coming for you. Because let's be clear, if they erase that, and the Affordable Care Act, if the Supreme Court struck it down, they will go back to what they originally, you had a pre-existing condition. You can't get insured, or you have to put extra. And that's the truth. They're actually in court right now trying to struck down the ACA, the Affordable Care Act.
And if you're 26 and under, when my son was in high school, in college, Obama was the president. I was able to keep him on my insurance up until he was 26.
Right. Exactly. And they're in court trying to struck it down. Oh gosh. Okay. About climate change. Now, some stuff I didn't know. I was like, what is Fracking? I'm like, did they say what I thought? Fracking? What was they saying? Fracking. I said, what? She gotta say, I didn't know what that was.
That's where they're like out in Kansas.
Okay.
And they're like trying to drill for oil, and it's really messing up the earth. Sometimes they'll have little tremors out there because of that, because they're trying to tap into oil, and they're constantly, somebody in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, they're constantly trying to drill for oil.
Okay. Because I didn't know. I'm like, is they saying what I think they said? Like,
but Pence didn't come back good with the climate. Like, Trump took us out of the Paris agreement. That was a global climate change agreement amongst every country in the world. Why would you take us out of that, saying it's causing us taxes and jobs? That's crazy.
Absolutely, because you're dealing with a man that's trying to run the country like a business, and he
Mhm.
don't understand, and he's a bad businessman, right? Because you can't kind of run it like a business if you know how to have good business relationship. Trump ain't the type. He's $400 million in debt. He's not really good and having when it comes to international relationships. It's like
Right.
I agree with Kamala Harris. It's having a relationship. And
Right.
that's something that Trump does not do. He's not going to keep up with his word. He's going to switch up in the middle of the game. And that's what we're dealing with when we're dealing with a Trump and Pence. And Pence is worse than Trump. People forget. Don't let that soft-spoken man with them red eyeballs get it twisted. If he was president, LGBT won't be able to get a hot cake, get cake made. He'll try to strike down abortion. So he's more stronger in his beliefs than Trump.
And they said they took the word science off of the website for climate change.
Yeah,
well,
they
what
did.
is climate change but science? And they took the word climate. I gotta go look at that. If they did that, that is just foolishness.
Oh gosh, it's really crazy, and because the West Coast is burning up, like they be having.
Yeah, the West Coast be on fire, baby.
Did you see that when Timothy Bland went live and it was like
Oh yeah.
Look how it was dusty or something. It looked weird. I'm like, what? And he stayed in San Francisco and
It
but
was really bad.
it was really bad when it comes to that. I love the fact where she got to talk about the trade war with China. It didn't work. We lost that war. And I'm glad Kamala Harris said Trump thought he was going to play China and he didn't know how deep China is. And they started to clap back. And who lost? The farmers lost.
Yeah, that was sad for the farmers.
The farmers lost because you thought China was going to sit there. China got a lot of power to push, and they pushed China button. They would have never pushed that button if Trump wanted to start acting like, we need to be tough on China. Well, you can't
and
be
China
tough.
Making everything.
Right. You cannot be tough on China when China have been our number one distributor for decades.
They let that happen over many years.
Decades. This was
back to the 70s and 60s.
The 70s, right.
Yeah.
So you cannot, when you had a country that was, they got the leg up, but you're dealing with Trump that don't listen to his advisors.
Right.
He try to do it his way.
And Kamala at that time, she brought up the obsession he had with Obama and Biden's. With Obama as the president. I'm glad she brought that up.
He does have an assumption.
And then she talked about how they got rid of the center they had in the White House for pandemics.
Absolutely. It's really sad. I love the fact when they talked about the Supreme Court justice, about the open seat.
Oh, yeah.
She brought up and did a history lesson. 1864, 27 days, this Abraham Lincoln he says, let the American people decide. Because it was a vacancy. It was an opening. And he said, before I make it, let's wait until after election and make it. And we are literally, how many days we got?
26.
We got.
Or 27.
Let me see how many days we got into election. Let me go to vote.org. I think we are now at 26 days.
26.
Until election. I think they need to wait until after the election. But
they're not going to wait.
But Republicans not going to wait. Democrats need to use every single loophole power that they can do. They need to do it. This ain't no time to be pretty.
But what they might do is they were talking about packing the court. That means they may add another couple of Supreme.
Oh, yeah, you can. They can do that. And they should.
Yeah, if they are, he's making it a big deal. Y'all got your person in there, rushing them in, during the pandemic.
And I'm glad Kamala Harris dodged that question because they gonna doggone sure probably pack the court.
They better do something because Democrats are always so soft, so kind, so forgiving.
I'm like, what the world going on with all that? This ought to be rough. And that's right. They own that script. Sometimes you gotta ball that script up and say, okay, let's go. Let's go. Now, when they get to Breonna Taylor, and this is where the difference between the two. Kamala Harris said justice was not served. Now, mind you, she's a prosecutor, and I wish they would have brought it up with the what was that? The jury, the grand jury, one of the jurors sued and wanted to petition the court to release the information. And I wish they would have brought it up. And she said justice was not served. And she got Pence together, said, you cannot lecture me about criminal justice, about work as a prosecutor. I was the AG, I was the district attorney. And that was a great point. But
she said, I'm the only prosecutor on this stage.
The only one.
You gotta get it together.
She was the only one on the stage. So right. And when gets to Pence, he was like, well, let justice be served. What happened with George Floyd, justice will be served. But then he immediately got to the looting and to the thing. But most white people was looting, burning up the stuff. They
the agitators.
Stuff.
But she got them back when she talked about Charlotte, where they came and rioted and was killing, not rioting, but they started, rioting. And they killed that lady.
Absolutely. And this is where I'm going to tell you, when you watch these debates, you pretty much, I went in as an informed voter. So I do the research, I watch, but this is for people that don't do it. This is their first time seeing who it is. And this probably could have tipped more people to Biden's side than Pence, because this is something different. They never seen a black woman on stage as a VP on a major ticket. This is and let's not get to, well, she ain't black. When the average person looking at comments, what do they see?
She black. She thinks she black. She went to Howard. She pledged AKA.
Right.
So as long as she thinks she black, what is it to them?
Right. And what you see is what you see. You see a black, the average person will see a black. They're not going to say, well, she did. Listen, you see a black woman on stage, and she let it be known. And she said, I'm the second black woman elected in the Senate. The first one, I think, was in Illinois. But she's the second. So she brought it together. So
I like when she said they're gonna get rid of private prisons, because if you go to the stock market right now, you can buy stock in these private prisons, and that's why they throwing people in jail, so they can make money off of them. But she said they're gonna get rid of private prisons, and I like when she brought up that Trump didn't condemn the white supremacists. I don't care if he did it 230 times before. If they ask you if you condemn right now, then you say yes and you move on with that.
He said, what do you want me to call him? Stand by. Like, because he understand that wing is a part of his base. Not saying it's all of his base, but it's a part of that wing will be voting for him. So of course he couldn't call it out like that, because he don't want to emulate, because he's gonna need all the votes he can get if he wants to.
Now Pence did get her with her record, but he didn't really. He brought it up, but she didn't answer to it. She didn't really answer him on that, but he did get her on that.
He did bring up. He could have really attacked her on her record. The black man, was innocent, and they still went after him. He could have name dropped that. He should have came harder on her record.
But people made it seem like that's all she was doing was throwing black people in jail. But she said she was prosecuting banks, other crimes too. So
and that's what I'm saying, because the job as a prosecutor is to prosecute people. You have to hold up. You are voted in, and you got to do your job. But a lot of changes she made. I think today she'll be a different prosecutor than she was years ago, because you got to think Kamala Harris was getting very popular for her policies that she put into place. She was all on the news. They was talking about, is she the next? Is she the female Obama? If you got to go back to that era, they was giving her kudo points when it came to all of that.
Right.
All right. So if anybody want to call in.
What about the peaceful transfer of power?
Oh, yes. Let's get to a peaceful transfer of power. Let's get to that. What you got to say about that?
Well, Pence sounded like Trump on that. And Kamala was like, we're just going to go by what the people do. She told them to go vote. We're to go get voting information. And then she ran down all the Republicans that are supporting the Biden campaign.
Yes, she did.
Top Republicans too.
Absolutely, she did definitely do that. And people, if you're not registered, you need to check with your local, with your state, so you can do all of that on vote.org. You can check your registration. You can register to vote by mail, and you can get. I did this yesterday. Get election reminders, and they also have your polling place locator. You can put your address and information, and will give you that. And then also they have it on there, the 2020 census, and then to become a poll worker. We are 26 days away until election. And so the information is out there. Now, some places the deadline have came, so it all depends upon where you live. This is not a one state fit all. It is a
Right.
state by state decision. You might live in a state where the deadline is next week, so you need to go check and go to vote.org. That's the site that I use. So, and I just checked my registration.
And in Harris County, Texas, since they shut down 11 to 12 ballot drop-offs, LeBron James, and I don't know if it's with Lyft, but LeBron James and also Lyft is offering free rides to drop off your ballot. So just Google that. And if you're in Harris County, Texas, you can get a free ride by Lyft. Maybe, I don't know if LeBron James is supporting this, but I heard he was helping people get to the polls too. So look that up.
And so the number, if you want to call in, the number is 646-716-8447. That is the number, 646-746-8447. If you want to call in and give your opinion about the debate, here we go. And we started this last week, and it was very popular last week. So they went into it. And because I want to be into this, because this is going to birth something either one day running for office, and you see this every day. So because I started this because I wanted the average person that don't get into politics to actually watch, because this is going to affect us whether we in it or not, or whether we vote or don't. It's going to affect you, especially when it comes to the Supreme Court justices. And when she brought that up about about 50 judges that he nominated, he said none of them
are black.
None of them. They are young white men and women, particularly young white males.
So they pack the courts.
Right. They're packing the court. You talking about packing the courts. So that was a great clapback, because most of them are young white males that some never even try a case, because you don't have to be a lawyer to become a judge. That's not a requirement. The president can nominate you.
And that's what she was saying. They're not qualified.
They're not qualified. But you're not going to want somebody that's really qualified to be on it. You want somebody to have an idea that's that's pro-life and all of this, versus being a pro-choice. And so this is going to be a roller coaster ride. It haven't hit us yet, but in the next 3 to 4 to 10 years, those Trump decisions definitely going to be waking up in a decade, from probably even less than that, because they are already putting it on the docket for the Affordable Care Act. You know, that's
if they get rid of that, that's be tragic for people that are already on using the Affordable Care Act, and people that have pre-existing conditions, and people that are going to have pre-existing conditions because of the coronavirus.
Absolutely. And I did this show because we got to get involved when you're black, especially of black people. We got to get in those spaces and run for office to change your local school council, to change your local, city council. You got to get it on that local state and just really get involved. And also teach your children to become a politician instead of a basketball player. If maybe you have a son that want to be the governor one day, we need to have those conversations and drive that spirit, because that is going to affect us whether we do it or not. And I think
get more of us to be lawyers. So if you are against the prosecutors, what they're doing, then you need to become a defense attorney. Like my cousin and her husband, they're defense attorneys. They don't believe in prosecuting black people, so they're defense attorneys. So you need to get in those spaces where you can defend us instead of just talking about it.
Right. Go ahead.
When I was younger, my mother had me and my sister, we would go out and pass out flyers. That's before the internet. Okay, tell my age, but whatever. And we would go and door to door passing out flyers for Mayor Coleman Young. What's up, Detroit? What up, Doe? For him to become the mayor. So I would watching my mother and always volunteering she had us volunteering to work in politics in Detroit.
Yes, and I want to say, even if you become a district attorney, prosecutors got the power. They got the decision whether they want to give a deal. They got a lot of, due to the laws, they are now some cases more powerful than the judge.
Right,
They
right.
decide whether it's a deal or not. So if you want to become a DA, go after
That's
violent
true.
crime instead of going after petty drug cases, you know.
Right, right.
Have it to the point where we're going to invest more so having schooling and prisons and stuff like that. So you could also become a prosecutor or, you know, in charge, become an AG where you run the state prosecution.
Right.
You can make a lot of change. And that's what a lot of people doing with Sean King. He's they have been doing that for years, a couple of years now, where they are now advocating for more progressive district attorney or progressive prosecutors, because they know they held a lot of power. They got a lot of it.
Because it is a pipeline to the prison from the time they get in kindergarten all the way on up.
Yes. Okay. We got, let's see, we got one caller in queue. 8043 caller, you're on air.
Hey Wiley, how you doing?
All right.
Good. I just wanted to speak on, I don't know if you guys hit on it just yet, but I wanted to talk about climate change, and just they spoke a little bit about that, but I wanted to know what you guys' thoughts were on when they were speaking on climate change and the fracking. And I know a lot of people might not be familiar with what fracking is. And I know she spoke a little bit about Trump leaving the Paris Agreement. So just want to know your thoughts on that.
Well, my thoughts on it is that we need to get into more renewable energies. And we were talking about renewable energy in high school. We used to debate that when I was on the debate team. So why are we not doing that? We are now getting into having cars, you know, running by electricity, you know, now, like instead of gas. So we need to get more into whatever will help the environment. We need to invest more into that. But if we can't,
we have to.
If we got a president that don't believe in climate change, that have an outdated
I really love
idea.
that point when they were talking about science versus, you know, a person who believes in science that, you know, doesn't. And I don't think that also with when it comes to Pence, he was talking about racism and he was talking about, you know, the other side. And it kind of seemed like when he was talking about, you know, Breonna Taylor, and when they brought that up, that it wasn't, you know, cohesive, and he was just kind of spewing out what he thought we wanted to hear. Like, we all have family members who are in like police force or Secret Service and things like that. And we don't wish bad upon them, but we do want people to not be racist and not be prejudiced. So I want to know your thoughts on that as well.
Yeah. So everybody keep asking, what is it? Fracking? Fracking is a highly debated environmental and political issue. Advocates insist it is a safe source of clean energy. Critics, however, claim fracking can destroy drinking water supplies, pollute the air, contribute to greenhouse gases, and that causes global warming. So, wow, I need to probably get a scientist on that into that, because I've never heard that term before in my life. I thought it was
I've heard about it, but I'm not familiar with it. But I know if you don't respect the environment is not going to respect us. And you don't have to believe in science, but you can see that the environment's not going to say, okay, these people don't believe in me. The environment is going to do whatever it's doing. That's why we keep having all these hurricanes. You got global warming where these glaciers are melting and they're making the water warmer coming through that Caribbean route. And all them hurricanes are forming one after another, more than coming through that Caribbean route.
You can finish your point.
And then you have all these fires in California. I mean, you don't have to believe in science, but science is real, and the environment does need to be saved, and we need to respect it, and we need to have you have to have a global answer to this crisis, because it's global. It's not just America.
Facts.
Absolutely. Thank you. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you so much for calling in. 9452 caller, you on the air.
Oh, somebody's...
Yes, you live on the air.
Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear
Hi,
you.
how are you?
All right.
So I called in last week, but I wanted to touch on a few things. So the first thing is I find it interesting that Pence and Trump want to completely divert the Constitution to elect a Supreme Court position. We know that the Constitution was built on choice. They felt that the people were smart enough to make their own choices. And we've seen this same theme of we're going to do what we want. We don't care about the American people, what they think. And I just find it very, very interesting that Pence is still enacting and still working to that point. Also, I find it also interesting that he talked about packing the court. This was something that was made from Reagan, a Republican, to change the way laws were being enacted in the government. So these are bills and reform bills that the Republican Party have made, but yet you're worried about Democrats packing the court. They're playing this cat and mouse game. And I love the point where she said, but nobody black has been appointed. And he was quiet. I was like, are we going to say anything? Is there any questions? Are you going to rebuttal that? Because they know that they want to push the vote. They want to talk about the Electoral College, things that have been placed to prohibit black people from voting. So it's like, it was a mess. And I do appreciate that Kamala was very strong. And I found it interesting he didn't attack her record with the black vote, knowing some of the laws that she implemented as prosecutor. So that's all I had to say. I just thought it was very interesting. I don't know if you guys have any comments.
No, I find it interesting because he can't defend it because he already know that it's the truth. They doing it for their own race of people. And what the Republicans, they're about power. They don't care if they said during Obama, we should wait after the election. They're not going to help to that same principle. They don't care. What they care about is getting those judges elected. I mean, getting them on that lifetime appointment because they noticed during the civil rights era, man, what was going on? How did these black people get all these rights? It was because the courts stepped in. Supreme Court, Brown versus education. If you get into the court with interracial marriage, the Supreme Court got into that. The Supreme Court also got
gay
into
marriage.
Yeah, got into jury selection about that. So they understand that the real power is with the courts. The judicial system can really help suppress the black vote when it comes to it's going to be a lot. And they understand that power is in the courtroom. Because that's why a lot of us black people got the rights that we got because of the courts.
Right.
Gay marriage.
Exactly. And it was so interesting for Pence to try to cut Harris off when she was talking about Abraham Lincoln. And she's trying to make a point that when Roger Taney died in 1864, Abraham Lincoln knew, yes, I'm going up to another election, but the people have to make that decision. I can't make a decision or push a decision at the interest of myself. And that's where we are now. We have a president who is pushing an agenda at the interest of himself. He has bootlickers such as Candace Owens and all these other people pushing his agenda when we are still in the national pandemic that he knew about in January. Okay, when he got COVID, now it's COVID. It used to be the Chinese disease until he got it. And now he's miraculously healed by taking the medicine that he wants to push by a company he's getting money from. So it's a mess. And
well, they blame China. Vice President Pence blamed China. He said China is the blame.
Yeah.
He's the blame for not. He's the blame for not getting it under control in America Okay, it would have got in because of international travel. But he's to blame for not getting it under control before it even hit the border. He's to blame for that.
Yeah.
And he's to blame for taking those scientists out of China when they were watching them and what they were doing over there. They could have gave us a heads up. But he dismantled all that Obama had put in place.
Yeah.
And he refuses to admit the fact he refuses to admit the fact that, Obama, this could have happened with Ebola. It could have very well happened.
Right.
But he had a plan in place. And that's where Trump needs to understand. And just seeing them on the stage, I'm just like, it's just like, if people don't see it, I think we can't tell you at this point.
Right, right.
But I
He's
was very
undecided.
proud. I
That's
was very
crazy.
proud that there was a Black woman on that stage, and I really do hope that she's able to pull through. But thank you, Wiley. Thanks for this. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right. So that was our coverage of the debate. I also added to the title.
Okay, I'm gonna step out when you get to the mess.
Okay.
I don't need the people coming after me. Thanks, Wiley.
Thank you, Blue
to tell
Sky.
the people to go out and vote. You know, you have to vote for what you think is best. But already 5 million people have already started voting. Vote early. Get out there, take your ballot where you need to take it. Help a friend get to the polls. And thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night.
Back in the
So I'm sitting here and you know, and I was watching Ahmad Wiggins live because he put in the title Jaguar Wright is broke and all of that. And he did all of this. He did the live, said that Jaguar Wright is broke. He played a video of her in the line at McDonald's and her car was declined. Her multiple cars was declined. And I'm listening to it. Oh, yeah, because you went on that show. He started preaching. He started to shout. He started to twerk. He started to do all of those things because now Jaguar Wright went on Storm Monroe and did not go on his show. And he was saying, well, she could have got some money and all of this and all of that, saying that Jaguar Wright is broke. And he was saying all of this. But the basis or the spirit of that clapback is because he's upset that Storm Monroe that Jaguar Wright did not go on the Ahmad Wiggins show. He's upset because she went on Storm Monroe's show. Storm Monroe is now 76,000 subscribers away from 200,000 subscribers. And he's at 124,000 subscribers, millions of views and everything like that. And people are saying, you know, he's upset because Storm Monroe is winning in subscribers and Storm Monroe is winning in viewership. So, of course, he will go on an anti-Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright is not broke. Jaguar Wright was actually at the restaurant at Papado's eating. So I don't believe that this woman is broke from a long shot. No. What I do believe is that Ahmad Wiggins is broken and upset that Storm got the interview and he did not get the interview. Because when you call out people and drag folks and say this, that you're so great and they're not, and you get all these cameras and speakers and mics, and when you're not getting nowhere near, and that person just got their regular camera, their laptop, and they are getting the views, because it doesn't matter about how much equipment you have. It's about, did you get the exclusive? Are you a part of the conversation? And of course, Storm Monroe is on the ready. They talked about him on a Dallas station, and they also talked about him on other channels as well. So give that black man the credit for getting the interview. Now, when it comes to Jaguar Wright, I do believe Jaguar Wright needs to monetize her story. And I said the same thing with T.S. Madison, former manager. T.S. Madison, former manager, Gio, I kept saying to the rooftop, brother, get your own platform because you making other bloggers rich off of your story. Why don't you get a YouTube channel so you can get super chats and cash apps? But he waited too late because the juice is already gone. But with Jaguar Wright, now that you have done these interviews, get you a podcast, get you a YouTube, and release a new album, because people are now are interested in Jaguar Wright. And so when I started to get into her, I saw that she went live and I started to Google her. One of my producers is a big fan of Jaguar Wright, send me videos, and I still to this day are listening to a song cry, the MTV Unplugged, and I just ball up in tears when I hear that. Now, even with Jaguar Wright, I would love to see a book. I said the same thing about, Apostle, the Clark sister, the one that they booted out the group, or the one that quit the group. I said the same thing about her. Why don't you get you a book and start your own platform? That's the same thing with Jaguar Wright, because Jaguar Wright's story is telling. And I don't care how many times she talked, people will continue to monetize off of her, but she have to be the one. Storm ain't the problem here. Jaguar Wright have to understand, like, listen, what are you going to do next after you told all of this on everybody's platform? But Storm got the exclusive, and he got the exclusive because his people told her to come on the show. And Storm did that exclusive interview on the Wiley Show, and he came on the show, and we had a whole beautiful conversation. Now, I know some people would say, well, Wiley, her card got declined. Who cares? She was in a car. She had a cell phone. Who card didn't get declined? My car used to get declined too. So what? Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Storm still won the battle. He got the 124,000 subscribers and counting. He got the millions of views, and Ahmad Wiggins is on the defense, and he's mad and he's upset because he didn't get the interview. And that's where you see it. You hear it in his voice. He gets so upset because now people is said in the comments, well, Storm is winning. You're mad at Storm. He literally said, let me take it off the regular chat and let me put it on the membership chat, because the people in the comments were saying the only reason why you're saying this is because Jaguar Wright told you no and went on Storm Monroe show. So what did he do? He said, let me take it from the regular chat and let me put it into the membership chat. So because I don't want to hear the criticism of what people are talking about. And over here, we're not afraid to have these conversations. I never was afraid of it. I'm not jealous. I'm just sitting here having a conversation. Since you made a title that Jaguar Wright is broke, I think that Ahmad Wiggins have a broken spirit because Storm Monroe got the interview and he did not get the interview. That is what I personally believe. I believe his spirit is broken. His ego is broken because Storm got the interview. And what played it in this part is that Ahmad was so critical of Storm. He was so critical of that brother, and he dissed that brother, and that brother won and continued to win. And he can't even necessarily blame Tasha. It's because of the success of Storm and it making Ahmad look bad. They're like, why are you hating? Why are you upset, man? He still got the interview. That ain't making Storm card didn't get declined. You talking about Jaguar where only thing you're doing is continue to help Storm get the questions and get the interview. And that's going to drive people to Storm Monroe videos. That's going to continue for them to get definitely ratings. So I would love to see my dear sister Jaguar write a book and tell her story. I don't care. It could be 88 chapters. I'm going to be right there at Barnes & Noble getting that book, okay? I'm going to be right there getting that book and everything. And I'm just going to be right there buying it. Let that book come out now. I'll be right there picking it up, and I'll be right there. Let her come out with a documentary. I'll be right there getting out a documentary. And people is saying it's fake views. No, if you look at the comments, if you look at the engagements are high. Even when you do a live stream, you got all of them people commenting. People are sharing. People are talking about Storm Monroe. The neighborhood talk just posted Storm Monroe on yesterday. So this brother is winning, and let's be happy for his win. Ahmad Wiggins is winning too. He's a little stagnated right now, a little stuck in the 90,000 bracket, but he will get there. He will just have to get the right formula, the right spirit. Maybe he'll do some reaction videos. Maybe he can just talk to Daytime, Tea Time, Candace. Maybe she can help him. Maybe they can go to another pool party with Erica Banks. I don't know. But he's a little stuck in the 90K bracket. Well, Wiley, you ain't nowhere near 90K. No, I will get there. I'm not that concerned. I never was on this channel. Hey, y'all, we need to get to 100. No. My spirit is I want the money. I want to be financially secure. You never heard me say I want to get to 100,000 subscribers. We all that. I always said I want to be financially secure because I've talked to people that went on to glory and they had to get a whole GoFundMe to when they had to get buried. And they had all the people on Facebook. So I want the income. Because you get the income, then the followers can come too. I don't want just 100,000 and I can't get no burger, no French fries. Okay. We know eventually I will get there, but I want the money. I don't want to just be like, hey, y'all at 100,000 and I can't do nothing else. Okay. All right. I just have to say that. Now we're going to open up the phone lines. No cussing. If you cuss, we're going to boot you off. You all can call in. The number is 646-716-8447. Y'all know we was going to talk about it. It's in the news. It's public. Why can't Wiley talk about it? Oh, I already know what you're going to say. He jealous. Wiley press jealous. Okay. How much more side you going to say that? Now, the phone lines is open if you do want to call in. I don't have the sound of y'all still talking about. Yeah, so I say I love you, Wiley. You always say how you feel. You got to respect. Yeah, I'm going to say how I feel. Let's go to the phone lines. 2948. Caller, you're on the air. 2948. Hello. You got to be turned up. Turn me down the background. 2948. Okay. All right.
Hello?
Yeah, can you turn me down in the background? You got me loud in the background.
Hello?
Can you turn me down in the background?
Hello?
Okay, I gotta get you off. You gotta turn me down in the background. 3722, caller, you on air. Hello. 3722. Okay, when you call in, be prepared. The phone lines is open. You doing more talking about Storm? I talk about it because it's history. He got the exclusive. Why would I not talk about somebody that's got an interview with thousands of views on it? I have the connect with the person. Why not? I not talk about it. You know, I'm going to talk about it. He got the exclusive. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Yeah, you know, it's just okay. He got this exclusive. So guess what? I'm going to talk about it. It is what it is. I don't get mad then people say, yes, we need to do a show about politics. We'll do the show about politics. Just know, you know, Wiley Ben did the show about politics. Go ahead. Let's go. All right. Now have me turn the background, people. We'll let y'all call in. 2948, call you on air.
Hello, you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Okay, I keep saying yes. You said keep saying hello. 3722, call you on air. Hey, can you turn me down the background?
Huh?
Okay, could you turn me down the background because I hear myself?
I sure can. Hold on.
Okay.
I want to make a comment about Armand. Like, I really think he is kind of jealous of other bloggers with the comments he makes, and the antics really not going to get him nowhere. If he had quality content and maybe something of substance, he would be okay. But as for me, I stopped following Armand a long time ago.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, thank you for so much for calling in. Anything else you want to add?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Let's go. Let's go to the phone line. 646-716-8447. Last 43489. Calling on the air.
646-716-8447.
3489.
3489. Calling on the air.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, can you turn me down the background? Go ahead.
Wow.
Yes, turn me down the background.
What's up? How you doing?
All right, go ahead. What's on your mind?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
I ain't called to see what's up with the debate.
That's it. That's okay. Well, thank you for calling in. You got to have your thoughts together, callers. 9867, caller, you're on the air.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, sister.
Yes. So, this is Aitisha, and I follow Armand Wiggins, and I do feel like he is jealous of Storm Monroe and how quickly he moved forward in the numbers. And sometimes I don't like how Armand hates on other YouTube bloggers, but having this beef on YouTube is very entertaining. So I do follow a lot of people like who have like this little black YouTuber beef that's been going on. You know, Camille Corner talks about Tasha K. And then after that, you know, like Daytime Tea Time and Armand Wiggins. So I'm just seeing how everything plays out to see if Armand as well as Daytime Tea Time will still remain friends. So, but I think he just needs to be happy and then learn the formula and the algorithm.
All right.
At this point.
Thank you so very much, caller, for calling in. Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And it is entertaining. I want to say to that caller, the beef is very entertaining. I'm entertained in discussing it because that's what the people want to hear. Okay. And we're happy. Okay. I'm happy. 6333, caller, you on the air.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Wiley. Hi. So this is, first of all, I just want to say that I just commend you. I applaud you because you're always unapologetically, authentically you. And a lot of people can't do that. So, and a lot of people try to, you know, tear you down, but you're still you. And I do love that about you. Okay. So what I also want to talk about was this whole, you have to bring up Armand and you constantly bring up Armand. Didn't Armand just say that he was not going to mention Jaguar?
He did.
Ever again. He was done. So I'm a little confused about that because that was pretty much the bulk of his content. And again, like I said, I do watch Armand when I'm bored. When YouTube is dry, I go click and say, hey, you know, let me find something to watch. So I'm just confused about that. And here's the thing, everybody's saying, oh, you, Armand, that's all you talk about. You talk about what's in the YouTube top topics. If Neek at Night and Camille's Corner were to get into a fight, you're going to talk about it and we're going to be there to watch, including the Armand listeners that feel like all you do is talk about Armand. If Armand is making a video, Jaguar Wright, da-da-da-da, talk about it. We want to talk about it. So you open up the platform for us to talk about it. And yet you are congratulating Storm because Armand keeps bringing it up. So he keeps throwing these subs. And did you see that shady post when he congratulated Storm?
I did.
Oh, congratulations! But I'm the better. I'm like, what the hell? Like, he is so sensitive, and he can't even hide it. He's so sensitive and insecure. He would have did better by not saying anything or just said congratulations, Storm. But he just turned into it basically was saying he's still a better one. Well, I'm just confused. So again, all the people want to say, all you do is talk about Armand. Tell Armand to stop throwing the subliminals. Tell Armand, since he hates Jaguar Wright so much, not to talk about her because she's his content. She's his content. So that's just how I feel. Say good night, Wiley.
Good night.
And yeah, have a good night.
Thank you so very much. The number is 646-716-8447. We're going to go to the next caller, 5840. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Wiley, I want to know if Armand Wiggins cry at night, being that he's no longer the king of YouTube, and Storm Monroe surpassed him in way high numbers.
Yeah. But this
So I
is
want to know if he cries at night.
I don't. This the
He's
thing
not
because
the king of
he
YouTube
just
anymore.
Bob Wiggins just tweeted this. He just tweeted this quote: "Catch up with Miss Mamas. You're 10 years behind. Jealousy ain't working." This is what Bob Wiggins wrote. Quote: "All you can do is be happy for someone else because you can't beat me. Let's talk. You're Miss Mamas. Remember, we started together. Make sure you bring me a nice bottle of wine for my 100K, and maybe I'll give you a shout out." Be careful with it. I'm just saying.
But the question is, when will he reach the 100K? He has a stink attitude. He needs to wake up. Wake up. Stop being so cocky. And when people watch your live, you're going to turn it into members only. You did not start off with a members only. Respectful.
They was dragging him. Thank you so much, Icon. All right. I want to respond to that because it only take one good hot interview. I am at 13.1. One interview can get me at 300,000, 400,000, 800,000, a million. One breaking story can get me at 50 million subscribers. Only take one. Again, let me read what my biggest wrote and let's dissect this. And he could call in. What's the problem? You ain't got to just tweet and listen. Drop up out the bushes. He said, "Catch up with Miss Mamas. You're 10 years behind. Jealousy ain't working. All you could do is be happy for someone else because you can't beat me. Let's talk. Your Miss Mamas. Remember, we started together. Make sure you bring me a nice bottle of wine about 100K." And I'm like this. This is YouTube. The beauty of this show is that we talk about things that are hot and things that are not. That's the beauty of this show. One interview, we will get that interview. One good interview. I'm not going to say who it would be, but one good hot story can take us and trend us all over the world. And you better be careful what you say out your mouth because you said the same thing to a Storm and he surpassed you. You're the one that put yourself out there like that. This is YouTube where it's the beauty of this platform where you can talk and have love and share with the platform. So I'm not going to rush to get to whatever because whatever God has for me, we're going to get there. And I still want to be humble. I got on my shirt. I still want to talk to y'all. Got a full-time. Thank you. And we still want to have a great commentary. But again, Amal Biggest have to answer the question. How does it feel that you talked about Storm, talked about his sexuality? You dissed his sexuality. You said the man that don't know if he's black or white. How does it feel to be behind a man that you had criticized? How does that feel? Don't bring me into the mix because I'm just giving commentary. You don't mention my name. I'm at 13.1. We almost at 13.2. So it ain't about what I have to say. It's your own people are saying these things. Let's go to the phone lines. 2948. Caller, you're on the air.
I believe Armand Wiggins is jealous of Star Monroe. Not a fan of Star Monroe, but the thing is, I've listened to Armand and he sounds very jealous because a lot of people have been talking about the Illuminati in the game for a long time. The way Armand sounds is because Storm passed the 100,000 subscribers. So Armand sounds very jealous and petty. I'm not a fan of Storm, but Armand is very jealous. I think he should go to Nick at Night because him and Nick at Night, they behave the same. They behave very jealous.
Thank you, caller.
They're very jealous. They're very jealous of other YouTubers the way I watch them. And Tasha K is like a comedian, so I don't take her seriously.
Okay, we hear you. You want to hear yourself back? Thank you. Anything else you want to say? Thank you, caller. The caller tried to hear himself back. 4395, caller, you on the air. 4395.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I just had a call. The Jaguar and the Storm Monroe.
Yes.
I was wondering why Jaguar took so long to come out with all her information for celebrities.
Well, I would say this though, where she been in the business, I just think that she had enough. And she told her story on Storm Monroe's platform. And I was on the #1 show on Stationhead on Mob Radio. And I said this, it was that moment. She had her moment. Jaguar Wright came out and she told her story. And I think the reason why she probably waited is because it wasn't no platforms really which you can speak. You got to get mainstream media, but now you can get your Facebook. You could be on Instagram and share your story. But I'm glad that she's spoken up. I'm glad that she told her story.
That's true. But wouldn't you think it would be good for her to make her own platform and tell her story?
I'm advocating that she, right. I'm advocating that she write a book. I'm advocating that she release new music. I'm advocating that she do a documentary. That's what I'm advocating for. But I'm glad she went on Storm Monroe's show because people like myself and others that never heard of her, now when she do really drop her book, telling my story, the truth about Mary J. or Clyde Davis, we will be more interested because now more people got to know her through to her rants and due to her interviews that she have done on Storm Monroe's channel. So if she re-drop a project now, she would get more money for it now because more people know her now than they known her maybe a couple of weeks ago.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Well, that's all I needed, Wiley. You have a blessed night.
Thank you so very much. Okay. There's gonna go to the phone line 6278. Carly on air.
Hi, Wiley. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi. I was just calling because I think I heard Jaguar said that she was working on a song with Jill Scott Baby Daddy, allegedly.
She did say that.
Yeah, so you know she gonna get her coins. But I want to say about Ahmad, I really think he should just take time to focus on his craft and don't even worry about Storm or nobody else, right? Because he is really talented. I used to watch him like a while ago, and he used to make me laugh and everything. But now it's like he has a spirit that's taking over, and it's like just, you know, out of control, and it's like, it's cringy. But I love you, Wiley. Keep doing what you're doing, and you know, you're going to get everything you deserve. Everything.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much, caller. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hello.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Hey, Wiley, how you doing? I'm finally getting through. I'm so excited.
Yes.
I just want to say, like, first of all, I love your show. I love everything you're doing. Talk about whoever you want to talk about because this is the Wiley Show. So do whatever you want to do. Also, about Armand, I just think it's really interesting that Armand put down Jaguar Wright so nastily. And the thing about that is, wasn't he crying about T.S. Medicine not giving him Thanksgiving dinner, and he's talking about this woman not being able to afford food? That's nothing to make fun of somebody over. That was disgusting. And I don't understand how people really follow him or watch him like that. I just went to go see what y'all were talking about because I follow like what's going on through you guys. But I don't watch him like that. And I think that people really should stop supporting him because it's really, really toxic.
But this is the thing. I think he's very entertaining, number one. The question is, why are you so against Jaguar? Because she told him no. I think he have an issue of rejection. If you look at T.S. Madison and invite him to Thanksgiving dinner, he dragged T.S. Madison. He dragged that black woman because she told him no. He's currently dragging Jaguar Wright because Jaguar Wright told him no. He dragged Kaya because Kaya said, no, don't use my content, and he dragged her. So he have an issue with black women that tell him no. He's not really good at dealing with rejection, especially when you think you're the hottest thing since sliced bread. When somebody tell you no, you don't know how to, he don't know how to deal with rejection.
Mm-hmm. But I don't, okay, but even if you, okay, saying that he doesn't know how to deal with rejection and he's upset because people told him no. They told Jaguar Wright no in regard to her card. And so if he knows how that feels, then why go on a whole tirade making fun of this woman in her like time of need, like, you know, she was down and out for a moment. We don't know what was going on with her card like that, where he, you know, would put her down in that manner. That was utterly disgusting. He doesn't know what's going on with her, but because he has this issue of being told no in that moment, she was being told no. So he should know how that felt. Absolutely. And if he was that upset over Thanksgiving dinner, he should have some sort of compassion toward her and her egg McMuffin or whatever he said she was trying to get.
You brought up a very good point about the Thanksgiving food because people forget that he dragged T.S. Madison. I hope T.S. Madison realized that she got dragged all because she didn't invite him to Thanksgiving dinner.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, if he held on to that for so long, how in the world he gonna talk about this woman and her being declined on live in front of everybody? That was probably very humiliating for her. And so if he know how that felt in private, how you think she felt in public?
Mm-hmm. I feel you on that.
So that's all I really wanted to say. I just thought of, you know, that was disgusting. And he better watch it because karma is everything. You know what I'm saying? He is coming for Storm, and now Storm has surpassed him. And now he's making fun of Jaguar Wright and her not being able to afford food. He may be the next one not being able to afford anything.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in. Okay. And of course, Lamar Wiggins, he's watching us tonight, you guys. He said this quote, "Keep cheerleading. Hashtag catch up. Let's talk about your numbers." Or right. Good night. He said, let's talk about your numbers. Sir, my numbers are good. Our ratings are really, really great. We have 25,000 views that viewed our G-Status ATL Hustle interview with Roman and also with the celebrity gossip blogger Tasha K. We also got 3,000 to 4,000 views, 5,000 views. Some of our videos getting 10,000, 25,000, and we're at 13.1. Our views were beating Ahmad Wiggins when he started to read cards. His audience jumped ship. So when we're talking about viewership, for our base, for us to be at 13.1 thousand, many people said we will never get to 13,000, and we at 13.1. But when I saw my brother struggling, reading those cards, and I saw each of those viewers leaving, jumping ship, I reached back and said, you know what, Ahmad Wiggins, my dear brother, stop reading the cards. Get back to celebrity gossip. We was the first blog that said it. And he listened to our advice, and now he's doing very well because he tried to be the next Cleo Wiggins and sell crystals out of his backyard and etc. I told him to stop allowing your boyfriend to criticize content creators when he can't even show himself on camera. And immediately his boyfriend stopped commenting on Wiley because I didn't understand that. Why comment on me if I can't see how you look? And see how you look, and see how your eyebrows look, and how your eyeballs look, etc. Wiley is a platform. We are in the best moment ever. We talked about celebrity gossip and politics. we interview Daytime Tea Time. We had Tasha K on the show. We interview Neek at Night. We interview powerful people. But our show is growing. It may not grow how you want it to grow, but I thank God that it's growing. Because I remember doing a Blog Talk Radio show 10 years ago. I would say back on 2011, 21. Actually, I was 20 years old because I didn't turn 21 until November 2011. But I started the show and it was only about 1 or 2 people listening into the show. Only 1 or 2 listeners for a long time. And I gave up. So my story is different. Now I have 353 million people. And I'm the same Wiley I was back on Blog Talk Radio. It's because I stayed consistent. When I was on the hottest show on Station Head, which was my radio, and I love my sister. That sister is a beautiful Black woman. And I was on her show, #1 show in the country. I did not get what I thought I deserved. And she asked me a question. I called it out. And that day I got in my Cash App. And also I got shared on the hottest blog in the nation, which is Unwind with Tasha K. She shared us on both blogs. And we garnered so much support. But my goal is not to just reach 100,000. My goal is to be financially secured. That is my goal. My goal is not just to reach 100,000. I want to have $100,000 in my bank account so I can retire my loved ones. That's what I want. That's my desire. And I want to be able to entertain you all. And I want to say thank you to my radio, to her fans for supporting us. Thank you to Storm Monroe, in which we worked with Storm when we did Two Men and a Lady, a show that I executive produced. And one of the producers, TLC and 3, came up with the name, and we executive produced that show. And it was a great 3-panel show with 2 men and a lady. And I want to give a special shout out to Storm Monroe. And I want to give a special shout out to 7 Stars. But when we look at a person that is at 13.1 and you look at somebody in 90,000 subscribers, now they're responding to somebody at 13,000 subscribers. Because the truth that I speak out of my mouth is triggering somebody in their 90,000 bracket. It's because my voice is powerful. My voice is powerful. It's like others see the talent. And you at 90-some thousand of my wickets, and you're responding to a man with a cock eye, and that's at 13.1. But the question is, why do you respond to him subliminally? Because you know if I share him and call out his name, people will come. When Tasha K shared me on her platform, we garnered 1,000 subscribers. That is the reason why. A show like Ahmad Wiggins, you are forbidden to say Wiley's name because he know if we promote him, he will grow. And we're going to grow anyway because we're growing today. Thank you. Someone said, going back to work, beautiful people, great show, Wiley and Blue. Thank you for the super chat. They even criticize my audience. They call my audience old church ladies that don't give. And my audience give. They give silently. They don't just give with super chat because they understand the game. They know how to give to Brother Wiley when they want to give. And even if they don't give, I'm still going to give them a good show. I don't base my show on how good my audience give. I base it on me giving a good show. Because if I give a good show, people will give. And I thank them all for giving. And when we go to the P.O. Box and people like Blue Skies or Tea Time and others that or Love Me For Me will donate items, I thank them for doing so because I get on this platform and I talk. Thank you to that silent giver that purchased us with a futon because we're not going to sell it like we're rich. We're not rich. I am living to make ends meet like everybody else, but I love this channel. I love entertaining each and every one of you. And then when I look at him up, we get some responding to our show. It'd be like, why respond? You could just hit the link and call in like everybody else. Storm Monroe called in. Storm Monroe's not threatened by Wiley. He called in. He came on the show. We did an exclusive interview. Because is always welcome to call in. Designed to see in business and life. He is authentic and very talented. Thank you so very much, Deborah, for that gift. Thank you, H2O, for that gift as well. But to me, it's just it gets me when people are triggered. I told you guys the right folks haven't watched us yet, but they will. One day we will get an interview and it will trend. It will trend all over social media. It have happened when I was on Mob Radio, and that's the number one show in the country. The number one show in the country. Everybody can't say they're the number one show in the country, but she's the number one show in the country on station here. We went on that show and we had a powerful interview, and I cried. And everything that I complained about, I gotten it before the day was over. Yeah, the number one show on station here. I was on the number one show. Everybody trying to be the number one show, but can't get there. We're trending on station there. We got I think we're in the top 20 on station there. So shout out to us. We don't get a lot of time on station because the network really is not that dependable, but we'll be back on station here doing more and more shows. Maybe we'll go live tomorrow. But I will tell you this, people. I love each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you. It is room for all of us to make it. It is room for all of us. Never let somebody tell you that you cannot do this because you can do it. I was dragged, talked about for years. My story is different. My story is different because when I go back to Jason Lee and that brother would say, I don't want to be somebody that's a psycho, be friends with somebody that's a psycho and bipolar. He didn't even understand it. But this brother, I was diagnosed with bipolar and I was in the hospital multiple times. And I tell my story because it's going to help the next person. I'm going to keep being me, keep being authentic. And I remember just a couple of days ago, I was having a mental health crisis. I was depressed. And because the meds thing wasn't right. I wasn't on the meds like I was supposed to be on the meds. And then I got back on the meds, talked to the people around my close advisors that don't spread my business in the street. And I contacted my psychiatrist and I got back on the meds and I'm doing quite well, by the way, because I yet had to understand that I can no longer be off my meds because it's very ruthless that I can become. And I had to get back on there. And so I go and see my psychiatrist in the next couple of weeks. But I tell you all this, I shared the story and somebody else called in and said, Wiley, I'm having the same problem. They emailed me. I'm having the same problem, Wiley. I got depressed. I'm depressed and everything else. And, everything else. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you learn from other folks. And I'm like, this is why this show is important, because we do talk about mental illness. We do talk about politics. We do talk about celebrity gossip. We talk about a lot of stuff on this show. I even took us to Chicago and we traveled to the city of Chicago. And some of you all witnessed the broken relationship is with family and how broken my relationship is with many members of my family. And a big piece of that is because of being diagnosed with mental illness. And you all were there and y'all witnessed some things. And I recorded it and let y'all see the reaction. And this is why I will continue to be doing the show. But I'm different now because now I have a new family of people from all over the world. And I thank each and every one of you all. And I'm happy. I'm not happy every day. Some days I'm real, real sad. But today I had a good day. Okay. I'm not gonna get out here and say everything be on and popping, because not every day everything be on and popping. But I want to say this to people that having doubts and that want to do a platform, do the platform. Don't give up. It's going to be some days people are going to talk about you and try to throw stones at you, but you keep doing this, keep doing it, because people is watching. Because I am a living witness that if you keep being consistent, you will grow. It's the beauty of it. If you understand the analytics, if you understand the game of it, you will get there. I'm at 13.1, heading to 13.2. But when I started, I could even rarely crack up 1,000 subscribers. And I'm telling y'all this story so you won't be discouraged. I got people that's 90-some thousand watching us. So obviously we're doing something right? Other folks, they want to jump out the bushes, but they can't because they get blocked from another channel. Now, what does that say about you? Well, you want to laugh at Wiley, but we thank you to all the producers in the bushes. Thank you for those that's in the bushes. We thank you too. Don't jump out the bushes because you want to stay neutral. I'll be right with you. I'm right there with you. I give you that way. But let's go to the phone lines. Okay. Oh, right. I think we got another caller. 2948 caller on the air. Did I get that call on?
I'm calling from Wayne, Jamaica. I just want to say one more thing. I believe that Tasha K is really after Cardi B money because the way she talks about Cardi B and securing that bag is just the money for just Cardi B money. I think that Cardi B needs to grow up and stop replying to bloggers because I don't see Rihanna and other celebrity reacting like how Cardi B believes the thing. It's a problem. She could just keep her mouth shut. I'm one of her fans, but she just chat too much more swell. I thought she gonna make Tasha K get her back because Tasha K want to get rich off her. Nick at night not like Cardi B because Cardi B no in her because Cardi B said Nick at night I want to look a bad mind. He's a girl.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. He was talking about Tasha K. Need to stop talking about Cardi B so much. Ahmad Wiggins, his response. Why is I triggering people? Why is I doing it? Because I got the juice. I got the juice. Hammer time. You know, I ain't even danced with MC Hammer, but I got one of MC Hammer former backup singers, backup dancers of that way. He's so happy. Man, was that before or after he filed bankruptcy? Okay, but anyhow, we gonna get into that. Let's read this. All right, this is what the Ahmad Wiggins wrote. He said this quote: "How the F y'all gonna have this advice from me and sit up there and listen to this bitter, jealous fool that wishes he was in my position? LOL, I'm done. It's all a key at the end of the day. Hashtag roll to 1,000. Hashtag king-ish. Hashtag self-made." And he said this, let's be clear. The man sits online hating on me every day and chilling for everyone to outdo me because I said no. The F, and who has the rejection issue? Bruh, I'm going to bed. But didn't you say you was going to bed 3-4 tweets ago? Go to bed. Who keeping you up? Ain't nobody telling you to watch this. We ain't saying you don't link, but because it is truth in what I am speaking. It is truth of what I'm speaking that is making you respond. Because if everything that you're saying is correct, I wouldn't respond to somebody that is jealous of you. I would give that person no response. But you're responding because you triggered. You're responding because you are triggered. Who gets triggered today? Just triggered. He triggered. Well, you go right ahead and catch up with Star. Star just went past him. Storm doing pretty good. 124,000 subscribers. Oh Lord, I sit here and I'm literally having a ball right now because it's just showing you the true talent that I have. Let's go to the phone lines. We got two callers on queue. 9201 calling you on the air.
Okay, Wiley, I already know you're not gonna like what I have to say.
Go ahead, say it.
Let's not act like Storm Monroe does not watch Armand or listen to Armand. What Armand said on station here was no publication picked him up. When Stormisha had got on with Jaguar, he made sure that he said, "Oh yeah, something publication had posted me and this, that, and the other." He made sure he responded. What he does is he doesn't say Armand's name the same way Armand doesn't say your name. But let's be clear that everybody watches everybody. You watches Armand watches you, Stormisha is watching everybody, Tasha K watches everybody watches everybody, and everybody feeds off of everybody. That doesn't mean anything. That's neither here nor there. I don't think that you're bitter. I don't think that Armand is bitter. I just think that it's a different situation, and Armand feels like it's a different situation because it's like the same as if you're working for something, right? And you work your way all the way up, and now you become the president of a company. You feel so elated because you became the president. Now, if the CEO or the owner of the company brings their child in, brings their daughter in, and just makes their daughter the president just because it's their daughter, it's not the same. That work was not both put in. You see what I'm saying? So I don't feel as though he's jealous of Storm. I feel like it's a different type of hustle. You see what I'm saying? The same way with you. You worked hard to get to 13.1. You see what I'm saying? And I know that because you're funny and you like to talk about people and drag people, you're going to become more and more popular on YouTube, and a lot more people are going to listen to you and they're going to subscribe. You see what I'm saying? You probably have more people that listen to you than that is subscribed to you. But the thing is, don't make Storm seem so perfect, because he responded to what the boy said on Station Head. You see what I'm saying? So everybody does that with every single person. Bottom line.
I would say this. With Storm Monroe got in the coverage. Storm Monroe is not attacking Ahmad Wiggins. Ahmad Wiggins is going on a very verbal attack publicly. He's going on it very strong. And to me, a lot of people, what the people are saying, hey, why are you so upset at Storm Monroe? Why are you coming at the man's sexuality and doing some things of that nature? And why are we weaponizing homosexuality? Because it's nothing wrong with being a homosexual. There's nothing wrong with being it. If you're that way, you're that way. But why are we outing somebody? Even in that moment with Storm Monroe had that beautiful moment when Jason Lee, that moment was supposed to be Ahmad Wiggins' beautiful moment where he's done talking about us regular folks because we're beneath him. That moment, they talked about Tasha K, Storm Monroe, and Wiley. But that moment was not supposed to be about us. That's supposed to be your come up moment. So when that comes with, when we criticize him on that, we can sit here and criticize. That's what we do on YouTube. That's exactly what I do. But let's be clear. Storm have gotten publication. He was on the radio show in Dallas, talked about him, and also the neighborhood talk. So people are talking about Storm more now than they ever have because he got the exclusive with the icon, the legend, Jaguar Wright.
Okay, you saying the neighborhood talk like the neighborhood talk is not in the same position that y'all are in. The neighborhood talk is no different than y'all. The only difference is that they're on Instagram and you're on YouTube. The neighborhood talk is not TMZ.
You know what? I'm not going to let you down the neighborhood talk because what the neighborhood talk, they are a great organization. They are a great platform, and it's run by an African-American man that is educated. The neighborhood talk is a great platform.
And do not have $2 and change in her car to pay for McDonald's. That says a lot about her. Everybody should know right then and there why that lady is so mad and so upset.
But is that going to stop people from consuming her content? No. They're going to still watch her.
I personally have not watched the entire thing, because I have to watch what I bring in. I watch you because you're funny. It's a certain way to talk about people. You see what I'm saying? What that lady does is just speak out of bitterness.
Well, again,
you have to watch, like when somebody is just attacking people's character and you just want to sit there just to listen to people attack somebody's character. Like, listen to what she's saying. Oh yeah, Diddy was a sex trafficker. Sis, was you helping him? She knows all of these people.
Okay, and also too.
First of all, nobody asked.
But let me ask you this. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. With the neighborhood talk, let me tell you this. With the name, hold on, one second, ma'am. One second. Okay, I want to tell you this. Source Magazine and the neighborhood talk and the radio station in Dallas all gave Storm his credit. I'm not going to discredit those institutions, those publications, and say, well, it's not TMZ. No, it is a blog, a growing blog by an African-American male, Kyle. He's a educated brother, and he's running an incredible platform, and his blog is a part of the culture, and that is another publication that talked about Storm Monroe. And we have to give him credit for all of the things that he have been doing when those publications gave Storm Monroe his credit. Now, you can disagree all day about Jaguar Wright, what she said to me. I think is entertaining. Whatever she's saying is very entertaining. If anybody out there want to fact check her, can fact check her. But let's be clear. Jill Scott responded to Jaguar Wright subliminally, and somebody else responded to Jaguar Wright subliminally. We even get to Michelle Etielian was talking about Jaguar Wright. So, I mean, a lot of people, Tevin Campbell responded to Jaguar Wright. So, whether you like her or not, bitter or not, this lady is now a part of the culture. So, give me 1 second, man. I'm going to bring you back on, but let me get these other two callers on so we can hear their point of view. 0622, calling you on the air.
Hi, Wiley. How are you?
All right.
All right, Wiley. I just want to take a moment and not to get distracted, right? Because I want to highlight some of your great qualities, because I think that what you do is amazing. And so for that, I want to say that you don't do the bait and click, right? I'm not giving any clickbait. When you say you're going to talk about a subject, you truly talk about it, and you give us the facts, you give us the details, and you come with your context, right? And you respect your callers. I mean, just for example, the previous one, you respected her views, whether you agree or disagree with her. You gave her that respect, and I appreciate that about you. And I remember one time I called in and I asked you about other people that you are in communication with, and you said something that stuck out to me that I continue to think about to this day. You said you're a student of the game and you respect everyone. So, and that's everyone that's in the same field as you. And so I respect that about you. But here's the reality, right? Whether he mentions your name or not, people know who he's talking about, right? And so that's press. And press is press. So don't be pressed by that, Wiley, because you're on the road to success and not the sidewalk. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm not pressed about it, and I understand it because I get it. We just having a conversation, and it's a conversation that should be had, and we welcome, let it be clear, we welcome the opposing side of the aisle. We welcome it because...
And not a lot of people do that.
Facts.
Yeah.
Thank you, sister.
Have a great night, Wiley.
Thank you. Okay, let's see who else is called in. Okay, let me get this other call, and I'm going to bring that lady back on. Anonymous, you back on the air. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Yeah, what's going on, Wiley?
Hey.
Yeah, girl better take her blood pressure pill before she has a stroke. But I wanted to say, Storm did a great job. Everybody I see, every blogger that's running the story or doing commentary, they have over 100,000 views, clicks on the story or whatever. I mean, so, yeah, he got the job done. And he should be commended. And our mind is hating. And he's talking about going to bed this early. It's 9 o'clock on the West Coast. He's going to bed real early, 9 o'clock. He's really upset. He better break out that bottle of vodka and get out and having a good time and party with the rest of them. And that's all I have to say. Good job, Wiley.
Well, thank you, sir.
All right.
Bye-bye. Oh, this is how going to bed, though. He's going to... Oh, Lord. Okay, let's go. Let's bring this sister back. Go ahead, Queen. You're live back on 9201. You're live on air.
See, I was going to drag that man like he was dragging his word, but I'm going to just stick to the topic, and I'm not even going to do all of that right now. First of all, when you sat there and that boy had made up some heinous lies about you and your grandma, that wasn't entertainment, like you said. You sat here, you cried. That was something really horrible for somebody to go that far just so people could watch their videos and say them things about you. It really hurt you. So you're no different than anybody else. The Puff Daddy has kids that get on the internet, that listen to this that listen to these things. You see what I'm saying? Jill Scott has a child. You see what I'm saying? So let's not just say when people say these mean, hurtful, nasty things that is just entertainment, because it just wasn't entertainment for you.
And let me interject. Let me interject. And I'm glad you. And I'm glad. Let me interject. Let me interject. Let me say this. Hold on. Let me interject. Let me interject. Even with that point, that was led by the Mob Weekend Show. He led that salacious lies. And anytime when someone lie on you like that, you take it to the court system, in which we did do that. And we noticed that some of these people that was doing that wasn't really financially that stable. And a lot of people were doing that because they wasn't even getting jobs in their salon because of the pandemic. So even with that, and that will be a part of our documentary that we will release. And the reason why I'm interjecting that, because if she is saying these things and if it's lies, those people need to do what I did: get a lawyer, get a cease and desist, go to the next step, get a restraining order, go to the next step, and to sue them financially, because no one should be lying on you and saying those things if it's not true, because I am a victim of that, and people have built their channels on that, and we came after them legally. And so if it's not true, then those people need to go after Jaguar Wright legally. But if it's the truth,
so what you're saying is they should go to their lawyers. That's $1,000 an hour.
Absolutely, you have to do it. You have to do it.
$2.99 McDonald's.
Let me tell you something. I am telling you this, and Charlamagne said it. Even though it is a risk, even though it is financial or a burden, but if somebody is visually lying on you and coming up with salacious lies, instead of going on a YouTube trying to respond, you have to handle it legally. That is the only way. You're going to have to get a judge, like the whole thing with E. Dewey Smith, what they did to Dr. Larry Reed. You have to get a restraining order. You have to get something of that magnitude. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until you get the legal, system involved. You have to. If she ain't got it, you still got to do it, or she gonna keep talking. You got to wait till you get a judge to say, ma'am, just restraining on it. If you break it, go to jail. That's what's gonna have to happen if she's lying.
I don't know what court you went to, because the video was still up, and I didn't.
It doesn't matter the video. The video still up. It's a lot. But ma'am, and let's be clear. Let's be clear. You can't stop people from lying on you. They're going to do so. That is the period. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. You can't stop. Only what you can do is you can continue to go to court and get litigation. Yes. But even when you're doing that, somebody else can pick it up and say that. That's just the power of being a celebrity. That is the power of being a public figure. That is the power of having a public platform, just like Charlamagne the God. You think this man can't have to go around suing people? But if he do, he's going to have to take 20 people to court, 30 people, because it's always redoing. Cardi B and Tasha K is in a lawsuit right now in litigation, right? You know why people don't do it, ma'am? It's because it is pricey, it is lengthy, and you got to go back and forth with them to court. Cardi B is in a lawsuit with Tasha K, and that has been all the way since 2019. We about to be in 2021, and she's still in litigation with Cardi B because it is a process. That is not no overnight success. It ain't no overnight. It is a lengthy process. And if you got the coins to do it, do it.
No. I don't feel like they should be wasting their money to somebody that can't even get a McDonald's meal. You see what I'm saying? She's not even smart. Like, she's not even smart enough to know to start her own YouTube channel to get her own viewers. You see what I'm saying? You hyping Storm up so much. But Storm's not a good person either. He never said, well, you know what, since we're doing so many interviews, you do some on my channel and then do some on your channel. Storm never said nothing like that. You see what I'm saying? And apparently he didn't give her any money because she couldn't even afford the $2.99 Egg McMuffin meal. You see what I'm saying? Like, so let's stop praising people, Wiley. And
again, we're going to do it because it's entertaining, ma'am. It's entertaining. Again, what you get through saying that, people are still entertained by this black woman saying the things that she are saying. It is what it is.
Everybody go watch.
It is what it is. It is what it is. People going to say what they're going to have to say about it. But if you do it, you got to deal with the lawsuits. You got to deal with all of that. And if what Jaguar Wright saying is a lie, then that's when you go right after them in a legal lawsuit. Because I've done it. I've actually done it with some people. And then when I saw it and I actually got on the phone with these people, parents, and understand how they are struggling, and they'd be like, wow, this is what you're doing for a platform? And then, because we were ready, and we're going to do it. It is what it is. I already told the people that are close to me that we can no longer do it in lawsuits. I mean, we're not going to be doing clapping back on YouTube. Some people just have to go to court. And they're just gonna have to go there. Just pull up to wherever the county they at, get a judge on the line. And I learned that by looking at Dr. E. Dewey Smith with the whole Dr. Larry Reed. If you don't know it, go to the Christian Post and you can find out about it. Okay, we got 2 callers that we're gonna reboot the lines back. Okay, Anonymous, you live on the air.
Yeah, well, I just had to call back. Yeah, she was talking about my dragon voice, and I just wanted to let her know that I took my meds so I wouldn't have a heart attack like she's about to have, calling capping full of mine. And I wanted to also say that Jaguar, that's her story. How can you take her story away? You don't want the woman to tell her story. You know, they had other celebrities come out and tell their side. Talib came out and said he was sleeping with the lady.
You did say that.
Begging him for sex every night.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I saw that interview that he gave. And then I saw another guy. Yeah, I saw another guy that was did an interview and said that what she was saying about Mary was true. So, you know, that's her story. So how are you going to tell somebody to go to court and sue because that's her experience? You know, she's upset because Storm got 100K. She really needs to get on a pill. Tell her to call me. I'll chuck her a couple of my pills so she can calm down and maybe she'll be all right.
All right.
I'm going wild.
All right.
Talk
Thank
to
you.
later.
All right now. Okay, let's go to this, and then I'm gonna reboot the line because some people want to call in. 2948, calling on the air.
The lady that was talking a while ago, right? She ever said them up pick me. What happened to you in life where celebrity them this try all like artists them in the industry, life for them this try. They never think so them pick me up come and see it in a long run. They never think say truth will come out in a long run and the lady run up her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
They never think say that come bite them. Who care about them picnic? Nobody not care about them picnic. In the idea they stop all for bag. They make what they send all for people go to prison. They kill all for people. So why they go care about the artists them with Jaguar talk about picnic? Who care about them picnic?
All right.
You understand what I say?
What was your last point? Thank you. Okay, I didn't. Thank you to that caller. All right, we welcome them all. We got international. We got an international show. Let's reboot the lines back up. Okay, let's reboot the lines back up.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
We got 300
Goodbye.
and some odd million producers in here today. Give me a sec. We're gonna reboot it back up. We're gonna have a conversation with the people because I already know. Child, I would say this: when you get into this business, you better have your lawyer on the line. I have one. You better. You ain't gonna have no choice. You just get your lawyer out, get your courtroom suit, get your mask. Well, a lot of stuff they're doing by Zoom. You have to definitely do so. You just can't go around labeling people being something they're not. If that's the case. You know, because I've experienced that. I really did. It is a very, very trying situations when people do that to build channels and stuff like that. That's what people would do when they're hating. And Ahmad Wiggins, he helped lead that. You know, he was a part of that, and he got to take that L because he was a part of doing so. He was a part of it, but I'll get into that on my documentary. I'll monetize off of that. Or should I just do a Jaguar go on somebody's show? No, I get the documentary. Yes.
Your show now. Press 1 to hear important instructions.
Your show is scheduled to start in 31 seconds.
Saying stuff and doing stuff, and you have to literally get shout. And I'm like, I'm a celebrity, public figure. Okay, the phone lines is open. All right.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4,
phone lines
3,
is
2,
open, people.
1.
If you're calling back in, and you have to get to
Blog
that.
Talk
And
Radio.
the conversations that we're having, it is a much needed conversation. And it's a beautiful conversation to have because you get the other side of the argument. Let's see. Let's see. All right. So if you didn't get a chance to call in, we want to make sure we get people that did not get a chance to call in. Let's put the number in the chat. Let's just get some people. If you did not get a chance to call in, okay, let me see. Okay. 9201, caller, you're on the air.
First of all, I don't know what the second person said. You wanted to translate for me. I don't even know what he said, but I'm quite sure he said something smart. But to the other guy, please don't mention me when you call back in. For real. Talk to Wiley about Wiley or about the topic. I'm not the topic. Now, because you said you want heart medication, this is your last chance. I'm not going to drag you. But for real, sir, like I'm telling you, the next time you say my name,
okay, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna get. We had you on. Hold on 1 second, ma'am. Let me get this 8561 on 8561, and then if you call back in, let y'all talk together. 8561, you live on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Wiley. This is Couture Bay.
Hey, Couture Bay. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Oh my God, you got them pressed tonight.
Yeah, so what you had to say about the subject? I didn't even think it was going to be a hot button show today. I felt like I'm in a debate.
Well, I do want to say this to the callers who feel like what we as bloggers do is wrong for covering salacious topics or triggering topics. I just want to first say this. Jaguar Wright has been in the industry for like 20 plus years. So she knows these people. She knows their secrets. She says she has pictures, videos, etc. I believe her. Tevin Campbell claimed he was going to sue her. I have not seen a court document yet. I have not seen a legal proceeding yet. You know, I'm an investigative reporter on low key. And as for, as for Armand Wiggins, we all know he likes to go low and talk about people, say things that are not true with no facts, no basis. And the moment you speak the truth about him, here comes his fan club talking about leave him alone. I should know very well because he called me a homophobe and some more stuff, was using my content in his videos, and then had the audacity to get upset when I spoke on him. And I'm like, if you are a trending topic, because we all know you love a little clout, you get mad when someone covers you and speaks the facts. And then when you don't like what they have to say, all of a sudden they're homophobic or transphobic and all the phobics. But in reality, that's really him. So it's projection. As for everybody just feeling some type of way, honestly, if y'all don't want us to know about it, don't make it public. Period. The end. It's not like we digging in the bushes to find out news.
Right, it's public. And I mean, you're going to get talked. I've been on the blunt of controversy and stuff. It is what it is. It's bound to happen once you're on there, and you can't, get upset. If it gets to the point where it's something salacious and it's something totally false, then you probably do have to get the legal system involved. Why not? If it's something like that. But if somebody do a video and say, "Oh, Wiley, I don't like Wiley," etc., so you can't get mad like that, because the more in the business that you're in now, people are going to talk about you, especially as a YouTuber.
Exactly. And it's crazy. People are more outraged about Armand Wiggins and Storm Monroe than people not being able to vote. Okay? Y'all need to go out there and vote, and not just at the presidential election. Vote for all parties, because you see, y'all pick and choose when y'all want to be selective outraged by things and the white supremacies and the racists and all this. But the moment somebody tells you to do something that can improve the community, y'all are mute, y'all are silent, y'all are everything in between. While y'all are sitting up here mad about Wiley, ask Armand, is he registered to vote? And you're right. He's on Hollywood Unlocked on Station Head, partnered with a celebrity blogger talking about YouTubers. So that is the ultimate level of press. Armand stays pressed.
He's just mad that Tasha K mentored Storm, and that's the end of that, because he's always throwing slick shade. He's throwing subliminals. He won't put it out on it. And then when you call him out on it, all of a sudden he gets in his feelings. He gets defensive. He makes it seem like because he's a gay black man, when in reality he's a weak black man. And that's the end of that. And I don't care who feels some type of way about that.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in. The number is
No problem. And I love your show.
Love you. And I love you. Thank you. Thank you for your love and for your support. Okay.
All right. Bye, Wiley.
Bye. I'm just saying, like, this show was so legendary in context, because it the other side were calling in. They have and on this show we welcome you to say what you want to say. And you're calm and cool about it. It's about it. Okay. So let's get our favorite caller. Let her call back in. Oh, I think we have you on. Okay. So whether you agree or don't agree,
who even is that lady?
Well, she's a
who even is her?
She's a blogger.
You're an investigative reporter. I almost fell asleep. Investigate how to be funny, or investigate how to keep people intrigued in what you're saying. Please,
but ma'am, can I ask you this? You are intrigued with the Wiley Show.
Is he registered to vote? We need to vote in the races.
But have you ever asked her, sister? Can I ask you a question? Have you ever asked her, Ma Wiggins, can you be a moderator?
Those things with her little shameless plug trying to come to the Wiley Show to get people to know who she is. The comments said eject her. Bye, girl, bye.
But can we say this, caller? How long? Because you listen to the Wiley, you like both shows. You like the Ma Wiggins show. I watch
Stormy. Well, I don't really watch Stormisha like that unless she talk about something good. I watch Tasha K and I watch Armand. I like all of y'all. I really do. I like all of y'all. But it's the way that you do stuff. That person that just came on wanting to add herself into the bloggers she's not the bloggers that we're talking about. Who even is she?
She's a blogger, the Couture Bay, and she's a beautiful black woman.
Never heard of her.
But Ahmad Wiggins heard of her, and he mentioned her in the live. He mentioned her multiple times in lives. So that's what the point that we're trying to make to you, sister. You may not know her, but your
don't know her. I only know the popping people online.
Okay, but he mentioned Couture Bay in the video.
Because of you, the Tracy lady, I know her because of you.
Couture Bay, he mentioned her in the live. You may have missed that live, but he did mention her. So she's a blogger. Yeah. Thank you, sister.
All right. Well, I don't know her.
Okay.
So sit down and have a seat, honey. She's not that great. That's probably why I don't know her. She's never been recommended at all in my YouTube.
Well, she probably would be tonight, though, sister.
Kids. Did you ever hear a Couture Bay before?
You probably would get her in a mention. Okay. Well, let me bring this.
I don't see anybody in the comments saying that they know that.
Let me bring this other caller on. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Yes, what's up, Wiley?
Hey.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I see she's still at it.
Oh my!
Not the
slow and the restless, sir. Please,
yes,
I told you don't
the slow and the restless.
Yeah,
why
the slow and the
so
restless.
hard for a line?
Look at you
why
trying to talk fast so I don't drag you. Would you put a teleprompter on?
You can't drag me. You can't drag me.
Oh God, sir. Come on,
well,
get with it. You said you can't drag me once. What's the next point?
You hated on Storm. Why you can't congratulate the man?
Congratulate Storm for what? For having that bald-headed lady on his show? Sir, I'm not a topic. We're talking about Armand Wiggins.
And then you
stay focused. What does your medication have you mixed up? We're talking about Armand Wiggins.
The point was Storm. The Storm hitting the milestone, the 100K. That was the point. You missed the point.
We didn't miss the point. He literally was reading Armand's tweet When he said Armand responded, that's what we were on. You got to keep up.
Yeah, Armand called in because of Storm hitting the 100K, and he hated on Storm and Wiley covering the story.
You need to relax. You need to relax.
No,
you
that's
need to
what
go
I've
take
been
a
saying
chill
about
pill.
you. I got some medication for you. You need to relax.
No, thank you. I'll pass. I would like to identify as the hype bitch on the phone. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, but to the caller is saying, and I hear that piece. But this is the beauty of the Wiley Show. We allow people to name drop. We're not afraid of people name dropping people's names. But of course, our name.
First of all, I told Armand. Armand was very nice to me. I told Armand that I listened to you as well. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what I can't even remember her name, and you just said it. Whatever that lady is, I don't know what she went through. But yeah, I don't know what she went through, but I haven't had that experience. People base their opinions on people on what they have experienced with that person. I haven't experienced anything bad with anybody other than the lady Tasha K. That's it.
So
other than that person, I haven't had any type of bad experiences.
Well, why are you down in Jag? Because she had certain experience.
On Wiley Show? You need to ask him to ask me. When Wiley asked
he have a right. Let him ask the question. Go ahead, sir. Ask your question.
If I call back in, I could address you.
Yeah, we did do that.
I did not say that, sir. What I said is when you call back in, do not address me.
Well, let the sir answer. But ma'am, okay, go ahead, sir. What you have to say?
Yeah, I want to know, why is she down in Jaguar? Jaguar, that's her experience. You know, she said
what I said to Wiley.
She had relationships.
What I said to Wiley is,
she's a celebrity.
There's a certain way to do stuff. Oh, let me not be rude. You go ahead and finish, sir. I'm gonna take your name. Somebody wake me up when you're done.
Okay, but I'm saying, you said it's a certain way to do stuff. Now you want to tell her how to act. She's a grown woman. I imagine she's probably twice your age, and you're gonna tell that grown woman how she should do things. Do you have any kids? That's who you should be telling how to do things, and not Jaguar. Jaguar is a fully grown woman, and weaving her way in this world and doing things, and she's made it this far in the entertainment business. Evil, cruel industry. So, you know, I don't think you have no advice for Jaguar. Now, I listen to what you have to say.
Are you still not done? My bad. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'll listen to what you have to say.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is what I'm saying. Jaguar don't talk about her story. She talks about other people's lives. So what I was trying to get Wiley and everybody else to look at, that's just like somebody in your life talking about you. If you don't hang around somebody, if you're not near somebody, you see what I'm saying? How can you talk about them? If you went to school with somebody 20 years ago, how can somebody that you went to school with 20 years ago say something that you're doing now? They can't. Do they know who you are? Yes, because they went to school with you back then. But who you were back then may not be who you are right now. That's number one. Number two, all these things that she's saying out her mouth, all these illegal things that she's 100% sure of, if you're so 100% sure of them, were you a part of it? Because it doesn't make sense. Even the things she said, like, oh yeah, Mary J had Meg Thee Stallion reach out to me. Girl, at some point we got to just stop. At some point we really just got to stop. You see what I'm saying? Like we're saying she's saying anything.
I understand what you're saying, but you know, if she said Meg Thee Stallion reached out to her, maybe she did. I mean, you can't prove that she didn't. And then with Tevin Campbell, that's another instance. You know, he was on Hollywood Boulevard soliciting a police officer. You know, now whether the industry pimped him out or not, you know, I can't say, but yeah, that's on document.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna get these last two calls. Thank you so much, sir, and to you, ma'am. I'm gonna get these last two callers on. 4334, caller, you on air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
I hope I'm not too late. I kind of came in late the chat, but I'm looking at the title.
Talk about it.
Okay, so we still talking about Armand.
Yes, ma'am.
and look, and you know what? And again, for like the people who saying like, oh, you always talk about Armand. I don't think that. I think you talk about what's popping. In our mind, he is popping.
Amen.
And Storm Monroe is popping right now. I'm so happy for him. And yeah, our mind is bleeding jealousy, honey. He is so sick he didn't get to that 100K first, because at first he was closer than Storm. And then all of a sudden Storm just took off. And he like what, at almost 125?
Yes, ma'am.
Our mind is gonna be able to catch up with that. And you know it. And so the jealousy is just coming out. He mad about, this man's success. And the thing is, you keep being mad, you ain't gonna never get to that 100K. I say you gonna get to that 100K before I buy.
Oh, don't let that happen. They gonna be like, whoa.
Look, Wiley, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna catch the replay, because I do want to see what you and your guest had to say about the debate.
The debate.
I
Oh,
was actually watching. I was watching CNN after the debate, to see what they were talking about.
Yes.
So that's why I'm coming in late.
Well, thank you.
But
and leave a comment too.
I just want to say again. Huh?
I said leave a comment too, so we can see what you have to say about it.
Oh yeah, okay, I definitely will. And thank you so much for letting me talk, Wiley. You have yourself a good night, okay?
All right, you too, ma'am. All right, we got two
bye-bye.
callers, and then we doing our closing remarks. We've been on here long enough. 5881, call you on the air.
Wiley.
Hey.
What's going on? I've been watching you for about 3 months. I never thought I would call in, but that caller that needs that heart pill is the biggest hypocrite ever. She sat on this phone and she called Storm Monroe, Stormisha, number one. She has an issue. That she is crazy, and I'll talk about it because she can call and read me, and I'll read her back. I'm not the one. But these callers that's pressed over entertainment, you guys are on here entertaining. And whatever Jaguar Wright got to say is her truth to this industry. And now all of these people are coming out talking about, they confirming what she's saying. The bodyguard is confirming what she's saying. People are coming out all over talking about she's talking truth. Talib Kweli, he never said that she lied. You know, people got to understand something. This woman is talking real, and now everybody's listening, and now everybody's nervous. But all these clowns are getting on the phone, talking about Storm and talking about Tasha K and talking about you, they got to check themselves. And as far as that other one that gets on and twerks with no draws on for clicks and baits, you've never done that. You're not on here cursing and talking all vile and everything. I commend you, my brother. Well, you keep it up, and you keep your head up, and you keep doing great, and you will get to that 100,000 before him.
Yes, I want the $100,000 in the bank, though. All right, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Peace.
Peace. I want to make that clear. $100,000 in the bank. That's what I want. 8254, call you on the air. 8254.
Hello.
Hey, can you speak up on the phone? Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead. 8254.
Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. The first thing I want to say is P. Diddy is a sex trafficker, and she should have said what she said, because people do need to know that. First off, she wasn't wrong for exposing him. He's still trying to get men to go down on him for power, and he thought he was going to get away with it. And all my life, I've been saying, I don't trust him. I don't trust what happened with Biggie. And everybody was looking at me like I was the one that was crazy. And when I was young, I'm 31, but when I was 19, 20 in Hollywood, it was a lot of pimps in the parking lot of all those Hollywood daytime parties trying to recruit women. So what they're saying about Hollywood is true. And the direction that they're going with women, and with the media right now, with that Sukiyana giving head, that she needs to talk about how hoes be getting locked in the trunk and stuff. She's not telling the full story about what women are going through.
And those are the three things I just wanted to cover.
Wow, the pimps be in the parking lot. Gosh.
Yeah, they would be in the parking lot, and I was too young to understand it, because when you're 19, you got a car, you can drive a car, but you don't know much. But my girls who were older would be like, get the F away from us. No, because they knew about who those men were. They'd be in the parking lot, and the girls, these are the parties that you would be in the, you would be next to Trey Songz. You would be next to Tyga. Like literally, we'll have our own section, but we would be amongst celebrities. And the celebrities will be outside trying to get in. I've been to the Diddy party. I've been where Wayne comes to the dance floor and will rap right in front of you and do all his songs. So I know about all of that. And I've had friends who are prostitutes. I work my way up. I work for the airline, so I can travel for free. So they need to talk about the real shit. These niggas don't need to pay our bills. We can travel if we want to. We can do whatever we want to. We can take care of our kids. You don't have to swallow on the internet and throw up to get money and shit. You ain't even doing it right. You're supposed to swallow it, not throw it up.
Wow. Thank you so much.
I'm from the Bay. I'm from the Bay, you know, and I raised my daughter by myself, and they could expose me too. I've been a scammer. I've done all this shit, and I work hard, you know, to get where I'm at. So that's why I want to make it clear. I've had to go pick up my partners when they don't know where they at because they outside hoeing. So talk about all that when you're trying to tell these girls that they don't need to be cooking and cleaning for free. That's a woman's place to, you know, be a woman, not, you know, leading women in that direction, saying that it's cool, because that's the majority of the women and where they're headed right now. And I just want to thank you for putting me on the air.
No, thank you, ma'am. And thank you for telling your story. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
All right. You
I'll
too,
call back
sis.
another time.
Okay. Thank you. Let's get one more call in on here. Wow. 3336 calling you on the air.
Hi, Wiley. How are you?
All right.
I just got off work, so I missed the show.
Oh.
I wanted to know if you could get Diddy's old
bodyguard
security.
His bodyguard, you're talking about his former bodyguard, you're talking about.
Yes. He put his number out for everyone to know it. So why don't you try to get him?
Yes, I'm definitely gonna try. I tried. I did after I watched his live, because he went live and he talked about it, and he said she ain't lying about Mary J. Blige.
This is what I'm saying. That's why I don't know if the woman is lying. If she may be fabricating some of the stuff, but listen, some of the stuff is true because they're admitting it. Even Khalid's ex-girlfriend on Storm Monroe show, she said that, you know, he was telling the truth. She was telling the truth.
Oh, he interviewed Khalid's ex-girlfriend?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And that woman, she didn't talk a lot, but that woman said that Jaguar was not lying.
Wow.
And she commended her for telling the truth.
Wow.
Yes. And I just want to say that Armand Wiggins is jealous. He mad. That's why he was quiet after Storm Monroe hit that 100K.
Yeah, and my thing is this. We got to get out of the numbers, because that don't take away how great you are just because somebody got more numbers. With me, I think I got millions of followers, because whether you follow me or not, I'm still great. I'm still great.
Exactly.
And, you know,
but that has to do with your character.
Right.
But some people, he said it's not about numbers, but when he was mentioning Tasha K, it was about what influence. But then you shouldn't be mad if Storm Monroe hit that 100K before you. But he was salty. I'm sorry.
And he said he
salty.
ain't have influence. Other people don't talk about him. They do. The neighborhood talk, the radio show, Source Magazine. People talked about Storm Monroe's success, and you have to give the man credit. Just it. It don't take nothing for you saying, "Hey man, keep up the good work."
Absolutely.
You ain't got to throw dirt at somebody. If he did it, he did it. And he's gonna have his season. You ain't gonna want nobody pooping on your season. Everybody gonna have their season in this business.
Well, you know what? You remember some people withdrew this subscription from Armand. That should have taught him a lesson. Like, keep your mouth closed and just do what you do. You're a great person. Stop trying to hurt somebody else, you know, to feel great though. That's his problem.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling
But I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Love you. All right. The number is 646-716-8447 is the number. Okay. I think we had another person in it. Okay. If anybody else was calling in, that was it. That lady. Okay. That's it. 29201. I know you was holding on hold, but we about to bring it to a close.
Oh, okay, it's okay because I wanted to hear what everybody had to say. So let's go down the list. So in the comments, Miss Jennifer Miller talking about you wasn't there. Sis, you wasn't there either. And neither was Jaguar. Okay? Neither was Jaguar. She's telling you about what people are doing now in 2020 when she hung out with them in the 90s. Okay? So have a seat, Miss Jennifer Miller. Now, the next person I would like to talk about is opinionated with the side of shade. It's YOU_RE. Please don't come for me and you don't even know how to write right. Okay, thank you. That's to you. Now, the man that said, I hope she called back. So, because if she dragged me, I'ma drag her. Sir, I don't have time to play around with somebody that's looking at Armand's butt that hard to know that he's twerking without any draw, sir.
Have you ever thought about getting you a podcast, sister? You got a talent. Have you ever thought about getting you a show?
I don't need a show. I can call into your show. I don't need a show.
All right.
What do I need a show for?
I'm just saying because you.
If I get a show, I'm dragging all of y'all.
It's just about
Wiley, because you know I love you. I love you.
Well, you called me. You called me offline one time before too.
Yeah, like I really love you. You know I really love you, Wiley. Like I really deal with you. I really love you. I really do.
You got to link up.
I'll call your show. That's what I'll do. I'll call your show and entertain your callers. You see what I'm saying? And but please do not come for me unless I send for you. So I am sending for these people, as I said, Jennifer Miller, who have been sent for and opinionated with the side of shade. Learn how to spell, honey. I hate when people do things like that.
Okay, but thank you. I'm gonna move on to the next. Thank you, caller. Thank you. Love you. All right. So we had her call in, and she said what she said, but get her show. I would get her show. We want to thank everybody. I want to give a special shout out to all the moderators. Can I get the moderators a shout out? Armin Brown 09, Tori Mon, J Real, Nurse Nicole, Blue Skies, Puppy Love, B Scales, Mouth Open, Shantae, Day, TLC, and 3. Shout out to all the moderators that helped me get the shout out to the team members. You know who you are, that write my speeches and write my posts, and that did this beautiful flyer. Thank you. Let me see if I can pull it up. Thank you to that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. You know who you are. I love you. That was beautiful. This lady made a beautiful flyer for me and take up the whole screen. Like, that is great. I'm like, take up the whole screen. Yes. If you're not subscribed, subscribe today to our channel. If you want to see us at a bigger level, just hit that subscribe button. It's 399 people watching. This was a lovely, lovely show. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all. So, Blue Skies, thank you, Blue Skies. You still in the chat, Blue Skies. We did a beautiful review of the show, and Blue Skies, I just knew it would have been great because we talk about politics offline. It's so beautiful. So just thank you to each producer for the super chats. Thank you for the cash out. My cash app is Marquise Wiley 28. My birthday is November 11. I will be 30 years old. Let me put out my information, the flyer that we have for that. We will be doing a special live broadcast that night, 8 p.m. to 10. We're going to be talking about topics and stuff, and you all can come on the line, tell y'all I'll be 30 years old, and I can't wait. Blessed are those who believe without seeing. Come on, John 20 and 29. Yes, thank you so very much. I'll be 30 years old. Wow, this is I ain't gonna be 29. I'm gonna say I'm 30. Oh, we're just gonna settle down and have kids. I'm where, whenever I get my life together financially, I'm gonna settle down. It's gonna happen very quickly. Maybe when in my early 30s, mid 30s, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna settle down and have some babies. We thank y'all so very much. We're looking right now who won the debate. According to the CNN, 59% said Kamala Harris, 38% said Vice President Pence. Thank you all so very much. And we'll be back with another video tomorrow. Peace. All right, there we go. There we go.